Hi there, this is a video about vibrato. I'm going to start by playing some music with vibrato in it. Okay, so you can see that I'm doing this wobbly thing. And you may have seen me doing it before. You may have seen other people doing it before on videos or in concerts. And it adds something to the music, doesn't it? I'm just going to play the same bit of music again without any vibrato. I'll try and play it in tune and kind of nicely, but let's see what the difference is. So it definitely is not as good, is it? It definitely, what did it have? What did it add to it? It's felt warmer, didn't it? And one example that I like is it makes the music feel more alive. And we'll talk more about comparisons for what vibrato feels like and sounds like and what it makes you feel. But for the moment, we're just going to get going and get you playing some vibrato as quickly as we can. You may have already tried some vibrato. You may have had a lesson on it with me before. You may have tried yourself to try and do some vibrato just by watching and seeing if you can work it out, which is great if you can try that, because you get a feeling quite quickly about what it is and maybe what it isn't. So we're going to just start. I'm just going to, if you look at the way my arm is moving, okay. So this is really what I've been doing, isn't it? Okay. Just start on that first note that I played. I don't know whether you can see me, but you probably can't. But actually, my whole arm is moving. It's not just my hand. It's not just my finger. It's my whole arm. And if I'm going to slow it right down so you can see what happens. Okay, so that's what it is when you slow it right down. Play that note again, just watch. Now, I'm going to play it really, really slowly now so we can hear the sound. What does it sound like when I play vibrato really slowly? Doesn't sound great, does it, when it's really slow, if we're honest. If I played it like this. But strangely, this is how we have to practice it to start off with. If we can get it good like this, then eventually our vibrato will sound like this. Which will have a lovely life and a freedom to it. And I'm going to give you 5 exercises in this first video to get you going. So I may have talked to you already about this idea of your hand being like some grass or some corn in a cornfield with a gentle breeze. I think this is a good example because it's not just the top of the corn that will, it's the whole plant will be moving gently. But the top of the plant will be moving a bit more than the bottom of the plant, which will be your arm and this part, okay? But they're still moving, they're not still. Okay, so if you get yourself into that kind of position, okay, now, number 1, your violin needs to be held comfortably but securely. Very important. If it's not, we're going to have to do something about it. So, if you're one of my pupils, then we can talk about it. And talk about improving the position. Maybe your shoulder rest is not quite in the right position. Maybe it's not high enough. Maybe it needs to be a bit more bulked out. Maybe the chin rest is not feeling great. Anyway, I'm not going to go into it in this video, but we need to feel good like this. Because when we put this on, it needs to feel free. So, let's try that. Put your hand down. Gently place your thumb. And imagine the breeze starting up. And you're just gently swaying in the breeze. Now, if you can do this and it feels okay, your elbow feels nice and heavy, then I'd say you're about a third of the way to doing vibrato, because really now we put our fingertip down, but we carry on doing that movement. Now that's not completely easy because now we have to put some force through that fingertip. Otherwise this happens. And it sounds like this. Which is called glissando in music. Okay, so I'm going to put enough pressure on my fingertip now. So I'm going to do push down with my fingertip. I'm going to feel the energy going through the tip. Now I've started by taking my thumb off because it's quite easy to get tense here, to be gripping too tightly. So I'm going to take my thumb off. Now I've got my thumb off and I'm just trying to get this gentle movement forward and back. A little rest, because we don't want to get tense here. We want our arm to feel relaxed. So I'm going to have a 10-second break. Just wiggling my fingers. Okay, and then I'm going to try again. And if I have these little breaks, I'm more likely to get this movement, this natural kind of backwards and forwards floaty feeling. Okay, so let's get that going. And now let's put the third finger down. I'm going to start with the third finger. Now, you can either keep your thumb very lightly or take it off. But I think let's try taking it off. taken my thumb off, so it's just my fingertip. Now if you look here, it's not even touching here. And now I'm just putting enough pressure now through my tip for it not to move. Okay? You may want to look at how the slow down looks. Can you see now? It's pulling my finger back. Okay. Now, get your bow. Okay, and then you're going to land at the top of the hill. This is your go-kart. You've pushed your go-kart to the top of the hill. Now, we're going to get our corn blowing in the breeze. Then we're going to place our third finger, let go of our thumb, and try and do the same. Now we're going to push our go-kart and it's going to roll down the hill. Okay. This is not going to work straight away. It's not going to work perfectly straight away. So you just have to be aware that this is going to take a bit of time, bit of determination, but I promise you, it's absolutely worth it because it gives a whole array of colours and shades to your playing that will make it so amazing. So let's do it again. Relax. We have our second break now, okay? A few seconds to release any tension. And we're going to go. Wiggle my fingers and I'm going to come up. I'm going to get that hand moving. Make sure you've got a gap here, that you're moving along the line of the neck. Okay, now I'm going to put my third finger down. I'm going to loosen my thumb, take it off. I'm going to carry on. I'm going to land my bow at the top. Then I'm just going to try to just think about my vibrato and just let my bow roll down. We're going to do it twice. Land again. Start the vibrato off and then just roll it down. There you go. Now this is step one. Now, if you're interested what that piece was that I was playing at the beginning, it's a really, really famous romantic era piece by a composer called Mendelssohn. And that was the slow movement, the Andante, from Mendelssohn's E minor concerto. I'm going to play a little bit to finish the video. Okay, there's 5 videos in this series, so each one, hopefully you'll be able to take some exercises and hopefully a different piece. I'll play a different piece for you to look into. So if you get a chance, see if you can listen to Mendelssohn's E minor violin concerto. So it gets really exciting from there. So if you want to have a listen to that, find a nice recording of someone playing that on YouTube. Okay, so join me for the next part of vibrato, and I'm going to give you some more exercises and talk more about why we do it.